Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com. Wine Relief. We are on Booth's Wines today. If you don't know Booth's, you probably live in the south of England. Booth's is a smallish supermarket chain. I think they've got certainly between 20 and 30 shops, about 26 shops. And what they're pretty good at is sourcing local produce. Now, when it comes to wine, they're based in Preston. Which isn't exactly known for wine production, so but they're pretty good at getting wines from other parts of the world. They've got 8 wines in the offer. I've got 4 of them here. First one is Red Estate Pinot Grigio, and again, as with all the other Comic Relief offers and Wine Relief, 10% of the proceeds for sales of these goes to Wine Relief. Well, this is simple, gentle, young wine. Doesn't smell of heaps. Some Pinot Grigio doesn't smell of anything at all. This one actually has got a bit of slightly dolly mixture-like personality to it, but doesn't smell. It's £4.79. I can't expect loads and loads of character at that price. It's okay. It's a nice, juicy, friendly, slightly simple wine, but honest Tuesday night glass of that, can't complain. Sit in front of the telly and stew out. Whether this one is going to be stew out wine, we shall see. This is Silver Coast Sauvignon Blanc 2009. And it's just labelled Vin de France. As of I think the 2009 vintage, you could blend wine from different parts of France, and whereas before it used to be called Vin de Table and you couldn't put on what grape variety it is, now you can label it as Vin de France. Another thing to notice about this, 10% alcohol, and we all applaud the move to lower alcohol in wines. Sometimes, is it at the expense of flavour? Moot point. Let's have a see what the wine's like. Well, it seems to have all the clean, appley zip that I want from a £5.49 Sauvignon Blanc. Let's see what it tastes like. Perfectly pleasant. As with the Pinot Grigio, can't say it's got huge personality, but it's got the zip and the freshness that people want from Sauvignon Blanc, and 54.9p of it, if you buy a bottle, is going to Wine Relief, so worth a punt. Again, what I call a Tuesday night wine. Let's see whether the next two are slightly more expensive, the 2 reds. This is a Beaujolais, although it doesn't say Beaujolais on the label. Flurry, La Madone, La Reine de la Ranite. And Beaujolais is, people think of Beaujolais as, give them a glass of quick rinse, people think of Beaujolais often and just think of what happens on the 3rd Thursday in November, when there is a mad rush to see who can drink the most wine by 10:30 in the morning. Oh, it used to be like that. Now it's not quite so popular, but basically the 2009 vintage in Beaujolais delivered some terrific wines, and if you get beyond the basic Nouveau up to the higher tiers of the Beaujolais hierarchy, I'll put that in normal terms. There's basic Beaujolais, then there's something called Beaujolais Village, so in other words it comes from slightly better places, and then at the top of the Beaujolais pyramid there are 10 what are called cru, C-R-U, villages, and one of these is Flurry, and the idea is these are the most hallowed spots of in the Beaujolais region and deliver the best wine. So you're expecting a bit more concentration, a bit more weight, and they'll last even beyond the 4th Thursday in November. Well, this smells what I call crunchy. If you imagine red currants and black currants and having a punnet of those and just like pressing them, and there's that you can almost hear the crunch from it. Did you hear it? No, I didn't either. But there's this vibrant, crunchy, what I call blue fruit, blueberries and those red currants, bit of raspberry in there too, and a slightly earthy character in the mix too. Very tasty. If these two are Tuesday wines, this is what I call a Friday wine, but not one of those Fridays where you really you're pushing the boat out. This is get some good sausages, make some proper mash, maybe put some olive oil in there, and have some decent mustard. But this is gutsy, honest, really rich, juicy, vibrant wine. And if you think about what you've got in a sausage, you've got tastiness, you've got herbiness, you've also got that little bit of fat. And what this has got to cope with that is it's got some freshness. It's got this zesty acidity. Now, people don't like the word acidity when you talk about wine, but think about what you do with fish and chips. First thing you put on salt and vinegar. You're putting acidity on. Or you've got sardines on a grill on the barbecue. Put them on, take them off, squeeze of lemon. Fattier food often benefits from that little bit of acidity to balance, and that's why something like that goes really nicely with sausages and other bits of, well, charcuterie in general. I don't think I'm going to spit this bit out. It's very tasty. Crunchy and tasty. Right, okay, let's see whether the last one's crunchy and tasty. Ryoka Elcott, 2006, Crianza. Crianza means it's been in a barrel for at least a year and has lasted and has spent at least another year somewhere before it's been released. Well, some Ryoka's on that really soft, smooth, velvety side. Sometimes it can almost be too much that way, just a little bit too relaxed. But this has got a bit of pounce and spice and bite to the fruit. It feels like there's a smokiness from the oak barrels, and then there's this joyful red berry fruit. A bit of licorice in there. It smells good. It smells lively, and it's got this slightly meaty, musky character as well. A bit of wildness. Really nice mixture of richness, but all reined in on fresh with it. Sometimes wines can verge on the jammy side, but this has got that fruit which is very ripe. It's got this ripe strawberry and plum character. But just when you think it's just going to go that little bit wobbly, you can feel the structure holding it all back in together like a belt. I mean, you've got those trousers to stop your builder's bum crack showing. It really does have that structure from oak and from the grapes as well. The grapes from the tannins in the skins, also a bit of acidity to keep it fresh. And I was talking about the acidity on the flurry, and the result is a very roast meat friendly wine. Bring on the roast lamb in particular. I'd love to have some with that. Again, lamb being on that slightly fattier meat side, something like that. Cut through it all and leave you with a rather nice Sunday lunch. And when it's all going to wine relief, stroke comic relief, you can't complain. See you soon.